Oh, hello, it is going to be your boy Zaku, and we are back with another UFC prediction video. This week we're going to be having UFC in Abu Dhabi. Just briefly going over last week, we did pretty decent with our picks. We mainly missed on all the short notice fights, unfortunately. I was thankfully correct in DDP beating Usman. I thought he'd knock him out, and he came very close a few times, but Usman's tough. I want to give Usman praise for how tough he is, but then he kind of ruined a lot of that praise with his complaining to Kerry Hatley every time he got rocked, which is funny. Him just going, "Ref, he's beating my ass. What you let him beat my ass for?" Which was pretty funny. And otherwise, yeah, it was an okay card. I was also horrible in my Chase Hooper prediction. I really just didn't have faith in Chase Hooper. I said there's a chance he could win, but I picked against him, and oh well. Regardless, my picks, I still think I went 9-12, I believe it was. But we're on to a new fight this week out in Abu Dhabi. I didn't even think about it, but this is going to be early, isn't it? Dang it. Yeah, Abu Dhabi fight cards are usually pretty solid. This one, unfortunately, had a few hiccups, and not as solid, but we're still going to break it down regardless. And then the first fight we're going to be having is Abdul Hussein versus Cody Gibson. Hussein, I don't have a ton of tape on him, just because it's not a lot out there. He's fighting in promotions like Ice Cage, UAE Warriors. There's not a whole ton on them, but from what I've seen from him, he's a switch hitter, primarily southpaw, but he can switch stances. He's got a lot of finishes, but it's a debutante. I'm not high on picking UFC debutantes, especially against veterans like a Cody Gibson, but a Cody Gibson is not the best guy. He's on a losing streak. He's an upright kickboxer. He's well-rounded, but that's about it. His main avenue, or his main advantage, really, in this fight, from what I've seen, is the experience and the size. He's a lot bigger of a guy overall, but I think the speed difference is really going to be what's going to be the issue. Hussein is fast with some good knockout power, and that's kind of how you beat Cody Gibson, honestly. I know he got subbed by Blackshear, but he got hurt on the feet by Blackshear, and Miles Johns hurt him quite a few times. I'm going to ultimately go with Hussein by a decision, but I don't love it. I don't love the pick. I'm not betting on it. He looks like he's a minus 400 favorite, plus 300 underdog. Just double checking the odds here, because I found out last time that a lot of the odds were incorrect. Yeah, he swelled to a minus 500 favorite. No interest in betting on that. Now we have Ankalaev versus Mike Davis. Mike Davis. I'm going to be going with Mike Davis. I know he's a slight underdog, but he was really good back in the day. He was a guy who we were all saying is going to be touted as a prospect. He unfortunately had to run into Gilbert Burns in his UFC debut, but I don't know, man. I just am not a fan of an Ankalaev who's just, like, he just gets by on close decisions. He squeaks by on close decisions. Like, I know it's unanimous decisions, a majority decision, but, like, it's just nothing crazy, nothing good. He doesn't wow me. He beat Shamrock. Cool. He's got good grappling, but he doesn't have KO power, and he doesn't have speed. Like, there's nothing that jumps out the page for me, while Mike Davis has very good Muay Thai. MMA Muay Thai, too. I've talked about the differences between it. Good knockout power, good speed, and the only real caveat I have to Mike Davis in this aspect is just that he's not active enough. He doesn't fight very often. I believe he's coming off a year layoff. Yeah, 1 year layoff. But I still think he's pretty good. Yeah, he lost to Frasiam, but Frasiam's solid. So, I'm going to be going with Davis to get it done by decision. I know C's a slight underdog here. He's even bigger of an underdog. Plus 185 to minus 220. I just don't like the Ankalaev. I don't like him in that spot. Brandon Ribeiro versus Magomed Chuchalov. This is a very simple one. We're going to be going with Magomed. I'm sorry. I see already is a huge favorite. It's just you can't pick Henderson Ribeiro, who's been a victim. A victim by Abdul Yakayev, but Yekayev is really good, but keep in mind that was 3 months ago. Omar Sy, come on. Mirzakhanov, it's good. Yeah, Mirzakhanov's a good fighter, but like, yeah, he's been a victim. He's been finished his last 3 fights. Meanwhile, and I like to also mention this, I don't like picking against the guy. I don't like picking a guy based on the past performances of his opponent. I don't like doing that. Tuchalov is a good grappler, great knockout power, and he's got great ground and pound. Renison Ribeiro is easy to take down. I won't say easy to take down, but he's been taken down quite a few times. And Magomed, from what we've seen, granted, on the regional scene, he has really good grappling. And he's not just a grappler who just kind of lays on you. He's a grappler who tries to take you out, as you see by having 5 finishes of his last 5 fights. And usually those are coming from ground and pound, or submissions. I just think Tuchalov is just much better in this spot. He maybe has to worry about the BJJ of Ribeiro because he has some sneaky BJJ off his back, but I stand by, and I've said it a long times, wrestling, like straight up Dagestani wrestling, is the best avenue to traditional Brazilian BJJ. Not he's Dagestani, but just that kind of like wrestling style that a lot of them have in the Middle East, I feel just beats out BJJ from what I've seen. And he's now minus 800 as opposed to 550. You can't even bet that. I mean, I'm very confident he wins, but like, do you really need to add a minus 800 to your parlay? He's a parlay piece at minus 400, 300, I guess. But yeah. Oh, great. Ismael Bonfim versus Axel Sola, the younger of the Bonfim brothers, as you can tell, the weaker of the Bonfim brothers. I did really like Bonfim after the Terrence McKinney KO, and I started like going, no, I even liked them before that. I really like both the Bonfim brothers. I still like Gabriel Bonfim. Ismael Bonfim, he's worn on me. I'm going to be picking Axel Sola to get it done. I'm going to pick him getting done by KO. The main problem I have with Ismael Bonfim is his fight IQ is piss poor, and he quits. I'll never forget him fighting BSD and getting kicked in the stomach and going, again. And guess what BSD kept doing? He just kept kicking him in the stomach and got a finish. I just don't agree with his fight IQ, and then he's been a victim his last 2 fights. Like, yeah, they're pretty decent fighters, Taco Padilla and Sadikov, but like, he's been a victim. And Axel Sola, on the other hand, yeah, he lost to Mason Jones, but he was a dog in it. That was a dog tough fight. That was a great fight. Axel Sola is not the guy that's going to quit on you. I could see Bonfim putting on him because he's a very fast starter with very explosive striking, and he'll put it on him, but he's a glass cannon that will wilt and break easily. You have to kill Axel Sola. Bonfim doesn't have that dog in him. He's going to gas, and Sola's going to take over and honestly get a finish. I do think Axel Sola is going to get a very late finish, like round 3 finish. And another mention is he's just bigger. He's just way bigger than the younger Bonfim. So I'm taking Axel Sola to get it done by KO. And he's only minus 180. That's a solid bet right there. Him by KO or do a double chance KO or finish. That's solid. Santiago Ponzinibbio versus Sam Patterson. Ponzi is going to die. Do not let the awful, horrible, horrendous, boring, crappy, terrible MVP fight cloud your judgment. Ponzi is not that good. He's been a victim for quite some time now. He doesn't fight very often. It's been over a year since he last fought. It's been almost 2 years since he got a win in Carlson Harris. Beyond that, he knocked out Alex Morono's almost 4 years ago, that's not a good win either. His wins have aged horribly. His losses have even not aged very well. Like Kevin Holland loss, I was there live for that, by the way. That was a great knockout. That was great. But Ponzi's just old and slow. That's the main problem. He's so slow. Sam Patterson, on the other hand, is a dangerous fighter. He's got good submissions. He has good striking. He's a finisher. It's just the awful MVP fight, which I've seen some people clouding their judgment. Thankfully, the odds, well, not thankfully, unfortunately, the odds-wise, then the bookies say they're not stupid. But I've seen some people say, "Oh no, after how horrible Patterson looked, I think Ponzi could take it. Ponzi has power." Ponzi is not taking this fight. He's gonna get beat up pretty bad. Just the sharp overall kickboxing is it's just better. I do worry about the volume lately. As of lately, even in this fight, his volume wasn't great. I mean, granted, it was a finish pretty early, but still. I just think Patterson's going to take him out, and he's going to knock him out. And the fact he got knocked out by D-Rod, too, I can't believe Ponzi got knocked out by D-Rod, so. Oh, that's Peterson. I was about to say, there's no way Patterson's an underdog. Minus 400, plus 300. Yeah, Patterson by KO, all the way. Dustin Jacoby versus Magomed Said. Dustin Jacoby is one of the few fighters that I've seen in person, and my buddy has a picture with him. Dustin Jacoby, I wrote it down, so I'm going to stick with it. I think he's going to win this. A lot of people are weary of Dustin Jacoby because he's old. He's old. He's been finished a few times. No, only just Reyes, actually. I don't know why I thought Menifield finished him. But he's good. He's had some spotty, off and on. Lately, he's been on. Meanwhile, Magomed Said, there's not a ton of for him. It's a short notice debutant. He's a solid finisher. He's fast on the feet. He's got sneaky power. That's it. He's finishing crayons. I think Dustin Jacoby, it'll pull out crafty veteran performance. I want to say finish because he is a really talented kickboxer, but I think decision. He's finishing these guys. I just don't know. I think Said seems tough. He's never been finished, but again, can crusher debutante. I'm going to haphazardly go. You know what? Screw it. I wrote decision. I'm going TKO. I don't care. I'm going TKO. Short notice. That's what set me off the edge. Jacoby is a slight favorite. Oh, wow. I put him as more of a favorite than I, to be honest with you. But minus 151 to plus 131 for Said. Do we really need to talk about this? Walter Walker is taking that foot. Did I write that in my notes, actually? What did I write? I wrote in my notes verbatim. This is exactly what I wrote. He's taking that fucking heel. He's taking it home. Walter Walker, he feels a lot like a one-trick pony. He does have decent striking. I just personally myself can never get that loss to Brzezinski out of my head. It was so... Otherwise, though, Thomas Peterson, win one, lose one. Win one, lose one, win one, lost one. Guess what he's due for? He's due to get heel hooked. This man has heel hooked his last 4 opponents in the row. And it's not like Thomas Peterson has good grappling. Thomas Peterson, I think, also if it is on the feet, can get knocked out. I have a meme made of his when Petrino killed him. It's so funny how he got knocked out. But he's a victim in this aspect. He is absolutely going to be a victim. If Walter Walker's taking his foot, is that like a form of like sexual harassment? Because it's gonna be. He's gonna make him a victim. I shouldn't say that's not that funny. But regardless, Walter Walker is gonna clearly take this. I don't want to be this guy who's gonna go, oh, he's gonna heel hook Aspinall. But I definitely think Thomas Peterson is a guy who's gonna heel hook. Like when he gets into the ranked guys, he starts fighting ranked opposition, like he's not going to be heel hooking these guys, Walter Walker, but he's getting heel hook Peterson, sorry. Also, by the way, hate Johnny Walker. That's all I just wanted to say. They're brothers, but yeah. Walter Walker's minus 175? That's a lock. Oh my god. Taking him by sub is a lock, bro. Damn, okay. And now, oh god, I can't say their names. Abukar Vagayev. Sairgid. Oh, I wrote it how to pronounce it. Izakmayev. I wrote it like how it sounds. I'm just bad at these names. Forgive me. I'm sorry. I do better with Polish names. A little bit. Vagayev versus Izakmayev. I'm gonna just go with this one really fast because this is a day short notice for Vagayev, and he's a debutant. So I'm gonna go fast this, but I'm going to be taking Izakmayev by decision. This boy Vagayev is a decision merchant. He just loves going the distance. I've seen no finishes on his record in the last, I think, 10 years. I'm not even joking. He's meaner of a fighter, though, but pillow-fisted and control grappler, honestly. While Izakmayev is just overall cleaner and better of a fighter, and I like his team better. He's AKA. He trains with Makhachev, Khabib. He's not. A lot of people say, "Oh, he's Khabib's protege." Anyone who comes from that gym isn't automatically Khabib's protege. He's not even the head coach. He's a head coach for Makhachev, but not everyone else. But he still trains with him. Meanwhile, Vagayev trains with Hamza Chimaev. So I alone, like, I just like that gym better. I just like the gym he's at better. So, and he's got more UFC experience. I mean, one fight he lost to Nicholas Dalby, but so Izakmayev decision, and I don't think they have odds for. I don't know if they do. Minus 260 and then plus 20 for Izakmayev. Versus Van Kuniev versus Tyler Fortune. I think Kuniev beat Blades. I stand by it. I think he beat Blades. Versus Van Kuniev, I don't think he's that good. I definitely think they just kind of... I said though, I've like said those many times, the whole story of why they even brought him in the UFC, to be honest with you. And I don't even really remember it, but it was a way to slight Francis Ngannou because who did he beat in PFL? Ferreira. Wait, yeah, it was Renan Ferreira. Yeah, he beat Renan Ferreira, and then they signed him because they wanted to slight Francis Ngannou because that was the last person Francis Ngannou beat. It was a roundabout story, and that's why they gave him Curtis Blades. Regardless, I think he's a better fighter than Tyler Fortune. Tyler Fortune's decent. He looked good his last fight against Marcin Tybura. They almost announced that Tybura won the fight, which sent me through rage. But regardless, I just think Kuniev's going to be the better fighter, but I think he's going to get done. I think he's overall better cardio, which is going to tell me, like, I want to say decision, but Fortune, I think, is going to get gassed out, and I think he's going to get finished and gassed out. So I'm going to be haphazardly taking Kuniev by TKO, but haphazardly so. He's a pretty decent favorite, is he not? Yeah, minus 350 as opposed to plus 285 for Tyler Fortune. I'm going Kuniev. Damian Rezbeski versus John Porkchanko. See, I want to call him Chunko because I do like him. I liked his fight in Contender Series. He is funny. He seems chill. I know he jumped Dylan Dennis, but that makes me like him more. But Chunko doesn't sound as good as John Pork. I'll call him both. I'm also not going to lie. When I started doing tape for his fight, I first looked at the fights, I ran them down, and then I started actually watching the fights. I'm like, wait a minute, this is Chunko. I didn't know by his name that this was Sean Pork. I was like, oh wait, it's Chunko. I didn't know his name. Regardless, this is not an easy fight for Chunko. A lot of people I've seen are just going and betting wise say, oh, Chunko all day, he trains with Makhachev, Khabib, he's got this. He's getting a dangerous opponent. Granted, it's a UFC debut for both these guys. He's coming off the Contender Series, but Damian, he's dangerous. He's a good fighter. I think he's someone who will stick around, honestly. He's a very good pressure boxer. He's got good pressure, good body kicks. Just overall solid fighter and very talented. I believe he even trains with Ilia Topuria. Don't quote me on that. But the main thing is I don't think he's powerful. His punches are very slappy. Meanwhile, Chanko, his first couple fights against guys, but his last fight against Caldas, even though that's the fight he didn't get finished, he was so dangerous. He was very violent. Something else as well too, Damian likes his kicks. Chanko does a great job of checking kicks. I think overall he's going to be the better fighter, but I don't think it's going to look very wide. I think it's going to be a very, very close fight. I'm going to believe in John Pork, but make no mistake, John Pork is not going to be the world beater that the memes are making him out to be, but I'd love it if he was. The main thing is, you've seen him, he could get hurt. He can get hurt, and he get a little wild, and while he does have grappling, because he's part of that gym, we haven't seen a ton of it, so he's more of a Muay Thai guy. So I'll be going with Chanko, and I'm going to pick him to get done by decision. I don't think he's going to knock out Damian. I think he's a little bit better than that. Minus 300, plus 250. Makes sense. And now we're going to have Islam Dulatov versus Wellington Turman, the Prodigy. Yeah, Turman is a victim. He is going to be made a victim. The only caveat I have with Dulatov is, God, his activity is so ass, but it's because he's a model. Regardless, this guy in the Contender Series, oh my God. And in his debut, oh my God. I get it. Adam Fugit, that's not good. And Valentino, he's decent. He still murdered them. He absolutely murdered them. This guy is really, really, really good, while Wellington Turman is just mid. Dulatov, he's young. He's a very talented boxer. He's an explosive striker. His elbows are vicious. His body shots are vicious. I'm super high on him. I just wish he was more active. And Turman, I even wrote in my notes, he's a victim. He retired and came back. And when you do that, it tells me you're not even 1 foot out the door. You were out the door and someone kicked you in. Yeah. But I'm also pretty sure he used to be a middleweight, so. Dulatov, TKO, easy. Odds-wise, don't even go into it. Minus 1100. Yeah, makes sense. Oh my God, Steve Erceg. Really, a 3-fight losing streak. Steve Erceg versus Ramazan Temirov. I'm going to be going with Temirov. I love fading Erceg. I did pick him to beat Tim Elliott. I don't think I picked anyone for Ode Osborne, honestly. But I definitely picked beat Tim Elliott. I did not pick him these 3 fights. No siree. This was such a sneaky KO. I wish I picked round 1. But Steve Erceg, he got screwed over by the pettiness of the UFC. He should have never gotten that Pantoja fight. That Pantoja fight screwed him over because he needed to build up. Granted, they're kind of building him up now like this. This is him being built better up, but he really needed to be built up, not getting a title shot over knocking out Matt Schnell. Like, what? He got the title shot because Muhammad Mokaev had a mid-fight. Granted, he was sick, had a mid-fight against Alex Perez. So they said, nope, we're giving it to Erceg. And he almost beat Pantoja, actually, which is one of the reasons why I say I think people overrate Pantoja. I think he's great, excellent fighter, but he's not the unbeatable god some people says he is. Like, Joshua Vanna has a chance to beat him in the next fight. Regardless, off track, Erceg, he's just a decent striker. He's got some decent boxer. He's got some good counter striking, but he's low activity. He's a good wrestler, but I think he's overrated. I think in this fight he's going to really need to go with the wrestling, but the main problem is he struggles with explosive, high volume, high pressure guys like a Kai Kara-France, like a Pantoja. Like, honestly, even a Moreno had very good pressure boxing on him. Temirov is coming off a suspension. That's why he has a long layoff. I don't know what it's for. Maybe it's right. I don't know. Guess what he is? An explosive, athletic, very aggressive fighter. He's got a lot of first round finishes. He loves his spinning attacks. That could be a problem for Usyk. Usyk could take him down in this, but his stand-up is his main avenue of victory, and he loves some overhands. He's going to walk him down. It's going to be very similar to the Kaikar France fight. Maybe not a first-round knockout, because I don't think he's as good at setting up his shots as Kaikar France, Temurov is. But I definitely think he's going to take out Usyk. And I wrote decision. I might flip it to TKO. Nah, I'm going to tentatively leave it decision. Odds-wise, Temurov is a slight favorite. That's fair. That's fair. And on to the main event of the evening. Unfortunately, Magomed Ankalaev versus Bogdan Guskov. I really wanted to see it be Magomed Ankalaev versus Khalil Roundtree. That would have been a very, very fun fight. But regardless, we should still have a fun fight. It's just I think it's absolutely in the favor of Magomed Ankalaev. Big Onk. Big Onk gets a bad rap just because of he get walked down by Alex Pereira, but it's Alex Pereira. Sorry. It's not like he beat him before. Yeah, they'll say, no, we had this wrong, and that wrong, and this wrong, and that wrong. And yeah, he was probably right, because he, with healthy, beat him in 9 months, but I don't care. If you really have something that wrong with you, you should pull out the fight. Pull out the fight. Because if you say that after, it's an excuse. It's an excuse, and it tells me you're undisciplined. I don't want to say it about Alex Pereira, but that just annoyed me, all those excuses. Especially, like, dude, just say, like, hey, I made the he got the better of me first fight. I made the adjustments. I knocked him the fuck out in the first round in the rematch. So, regardless. Magomed Ankalaev is a very talented fighter. Some people, for whatever reason, thinks he's a grappler just because he trains at Dagestan. No, he's exclusively a striker. And as if people say he's boring, I'm like, he's had like a few boring fights here and there, but he typically like knocks people out. I like Magomed Ankalaev. I don't like him as much as like an Alex Pereira, but I like Magomed Ankalaev. I think he's a really good fighter, and overall, he's a more savvy veteran compared to a Bogdan, who's pretty good, but he has not been in the UFC as much as Magomed Ankalaev, honestly. He's coming off that draw with Jan Blachowicz, who, while you want to take points away from him for doing that with a 40-year-old Blachowicz, everyone goes to very, like Blachowicz does a great job of making people look bad. Like, Alex Pereira went to a decision with Blachowicz. Ank went the distance with Blachowicz. Regardless, Guskov is powerful. He's a good striker overall. His wrestling isn't all there, and he's fresh and young. He's the future. He is the future, but the present is Magomed Ankalaev, who I think is going to be better everywhere except for the power aspect. I think he's going to probably strike with him, counterpunch him, push him up against the fence a few times, but it's primarily going to be on the feet. It's primarily going to be Ank wearing on him. I could see a late finish. I can. It being 5 rounds, I lean more towards finish because Bogdan isn't going to have that level of experience at a high-volume 5-round fight. Then again, Magomed is low volume. Regardless, I'm picking Magomed Ankalaev to get it done. I'm going to pick him to get it done by TKO. And that has been all of my picks for UFC Abu Dhabi. Please let me know what you think in the comment sections below, and bye-bye.